NBA, the Rockets in Houston last night beat the Red Hot Rockets badly, beat them 125 to 107 as Luka scored 47, Kyrie 24. And guess what? Now the hottest team in the NBA is the Mavericks, who have now won 11 of 12, have climbed only 2 back of the Clippers for 4th spot in the West. Wow. Okay, you guys, is it finally time to concede that the Mavericks are a real threat to win the West?
I'll tell you what, they got my attention. You know, before they were up and down, dealing with injuries and Kyrie in and out, but they got my attention, Skip, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, Luka is going to be the MVP of this league one day.
Yeah,
one day.
One day. When his team, when he can crack the top 4 as far as team success record-wise, he's going to be the MVP. So they got my attention. The chemistry between Luka and Kyrie seems like it's gotten way better now.
It is.
The way they share the ball. The West is wide open to me because I feel like every week we're talking about a hot team. Last week was Houston. The other week is Clippers a few weeks ago. Outside of the top 3, the rest of these teams are in the same boat, I feel like. But even then, when I look at OKC, Minnesota, Clippers, New Orleans, Dallas can play with all of them. All of them. I don't know. This is going to be a bloodbath in the West.
Yeah,
I mean, right now, if they play the Clippers, I think they can beat the Clippers.
I do too.
I think they can beat the Clippers in the series right now. And then, if they play Oklahoma in the second round, that can go 6 or 7. With them having way more playoff experience, Dallas can end up in the conference finals the way it looks right now.
Absolutely.
The path to the conference finals, if it started today, is there for them. So in saying that, they can get to the conference finals. And when you got Luka Doncic on your team, who in my eyes is a top 5, soon-to-be MVP, anything can happen.
And I know that they ran up against a Rocket team, a young Rocket team with a couple veterans on it that had a nice little run where we were all like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. That's true. Luka and Kyrie can score with the best of them. Their defense has gotten, a little bit better since
it has gotten a little bit
better since the trade deadline. We all can agree to that.
Yeah.
When you look at the guys at the bottom in the play-in and the teams in between, let's get rid of Denver because I think we all agree that Denver probably is the king of the mountain.
They're the class.
They're the class. When you start talking about Minnesota and OKC, you might want to, OKC so young, you just don't know what that is, and we don't know what Cat's situation is with Minnesota. But when you start talking about Phoenix, if they healthy, that could be something special. You talk about the Lakers healthy, that could be something special. Never count out Steph Curry and Golden State and Draymond. Draymond balled out, even though he did. You know, even though
I give him
we
that.
had some questions about his character last week and what he did, although he balled out the other day. You start looking at some of those other teams, the Pelicans, you start saying to yourself, any of them teams can beat each other. There's about 6 teams there that can beat each other flip-flop. I'm not sold on OKC. I'm not sold on Minnesota. And I'm really not because of the defensive liability that my 2 scores present for my team. If I had, let's say if I had 3 guys defensively that did nothing but play defense and I had my 2 scores, I would feel different about the Mavs than y'all probably. Because I just don't see where they're going to score a whole bunch of points and that's going to get you to where you need to be. Just scoring. You got to stop somebody. You got to stop people. You can't just rely on Luka going for 40 and Kyrie going for 37 every time.
Not? Why not?
You just can't. Who wins like that without playing defense?
Don't nobody play no defense no more. There's only one team that played defense, Minnesota. One team.
So you think it just scoring is going to do it all?
Man.
Because it seemed like to me, Denver's in a position, they're in their position that they in because they actually do play defense.
Yeah.
Especially late in games, they play defense.
Okay, so when Houston went on its run, I started watching them night after night. They had to max out. Everybody had to play well. We're talking about the Lakers hitting on all cylinders. They were mostly hitting on all cylinders every night because they have to right here, right now, because they're not there yet. So last night, Dylan the villain, as in Dylan Brooks, he goes 0 for 8 and 0 for 7 from 3. Well, that's not going to work. And Jalen Green had been on
0 points?
He had 0 points. And Jalen Green had been averaging 33 a game through their streak, and all of a sudden he goes 0 for 5 from 3 and scores 12 points. That won't work. So they didn't hit on all in their biggest cylinders, just didn't hit. Listen, when Dallas goes on its quiet streak, because they've been off radar until last night, they're just winning because of two guys.
Yes.
And it's just too sensational. Listen, I have criticized Luka over the years, just the way I criticized LeBron, because he was a lousy three-point shooter and an even worse free throw shooter. He used to be like much more of a liability at the free throw line than LeBron ever thought about being. He has worked his young tail off at getting better at both. And all of a sudden, I look at what he's done for the last 11 games that he has played. They are 11-0 in the games he's played. 11-0 because he's averaging 31, 10, and 10. Think about that. 31, 10, and 10. He's shooting 45% from the floor, but he's shooting 39% from three. Well, he didn't used to be able to do that. And then what did he do last night? Well, he made a whole bunch of threes last night. So the point is, it's hard to defend them when they're making that many threes. Let me get my final box up here. Oh, I got the wrong one here. When he's making 9 of 16, he wasn't 9 out of 10 like LeBron, but 9 out of 16 is hard to beat.
He shot 51% from three.
51%, and Kyrie made 4 out of 9. And then they get to the fourth quarter last night, and Luka just says, you drive. You got this. So Luka scored 2 points in the fourth quarter because he didn't care, because they had their little cushion, and Kyrie makes 6 out of 9 shots in the fourth quarter and just takes the game over. Well, that works because they're no better scorers than those two on any given night. I mean, I don't know anybody.
Think about this. If you get in a series with Luka and you get into a game 7, for the most part, he's going to be the best player on the court, unless you're playing against Joker. And I heard Doc, when we played, I heard Doc say, listen, in a game 7, when the other team has the best player, you always got a chance. And Luka's going to be the best player in a lot of these series if he can get to a game 7. A game 7 with Luka Doncic, the best player on the court, is going to be a problem. Outside of Joker,
he's it.
He's probably the best player.
He is.
And if you got him on your side, in a one-game series to go in a game 7, you'd rather have him than not.
So the other night, they have beaten Sacramento the last 2 times. I know Sacramento lost Herter for the year. Now they've lost Malik Monk for several weeks. So they're hurting, but they got hurt by Luka. He's running up down the floor screaming at Vlade Divac, why didn't you draft me? Why didn't you draft me? Just ridiculing him.
What was Vlade?
At
Sacramento?
Sacramento.
Oh, Sacramento?
Yeah, they could have. All right.
Oh, but they had issues on some,
Yeah, okay. So the point is that Luka is now doing things that we thought Steph could do, but he makes a shot last night early in the third quarter. This finger roll from 20 feet out.
He shot a finger roll from 3.
So check this out. Okay, so he loses his dribble and he says, well, okay, I'm going to go up and under this 6'10" guy and just loop it in.
That might...
What?
He had to do something.
No,
4 seconds on the clock, right?
Usually guys will put the shoulder into you and then fade away. I mean, you saw LeBron do it last. He just fade away. He leaned into it like I do this.
So
like,
you think so?
Man, this guy is a shot maker, one of the best.
Man, that's luck, Paul.
That ain't luck.
I don't think
that
it's luck
ain't
either.
luck. That's too clean to be luck. That's too clean to
If
be
he was
luck.
closer to the rim, I'd be like,
I'm not saying he can make 5 out of 10 of those, but that ain't luck. Like, any shot he throws up is a shot he can make.
Yeah.
Like, come on. He's not going to just do that if he didn't think he can make it.
Oh,
I mean, you can
of
kind of
course.
lean into your man or pass it. You're not going to just throw that up, like, not thinking you can make it. You know what I'm saying?
He thought he could make it. That's why he did it.
Yeah, but nobody else is going to do a finger roll from 3.
So we used to see Wilt Chamberlain finger roll at the rim. We used to see George the Iceman Gervin finger roll from like 3 or 4 feet out, but that's 20 feet.
That's like when Kobe started shooting left-handed, that was luck. He wouldn't have shot it if he didn't think he could make those.
Of course you could think you're going to make it. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't think he could make it, but that was too far to just, I don't know.
He might not shoot that shot again the rest of his career.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Keyshawn,
But
did
he
it
know
look
he can make
legit
it.
to you? It looked like he knew what he was doing.
It looked like he knew what he was doing
it looked-
100%.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a lot. And Paul played in the NBA. I don't know why I'm saying this, but it's probably a lot closer for him than what it looks like on TV because he's long. And he, you know, it's a lot closer.
He can palm the ball. He got great control with the ball.
Easier.
So he just flick it up. Come on, that was right in.
Okay, so last night before the game, check this shot out that he makes off the scoreboard. He stands under his own basket and shoots it off the big scoreboard up top and backboards it in. Backboards it in.